Hey everyone! Welcome back to Musicians Inspiring Musicians. My name is Caroline, and today I am going to teach you how to play the main riff of Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes using only the 5th string. This video is great for beginners especially, just because this riff I'm going to teach you, it's only on the 5th string. It's going to help you learn the different notes on the 5th string, how to slide up and down the string. Even if you're not a beginner, it's still a fun and easy riff to learn. So let's get started. For this riff, I have linked the sheet music below in the description box so you can pull it up on your computer or print it out and follow along. We have the sheet music version and we have the sheet music with the tabs. So if you only read tabs, the sheet music is above it, so maybe it can help you kind of figure out what notes you're playing, but I will teach them to you as well. So with this song, we are only going to need 5 different notes for this riff. So again, we are only using the 5th string on the guitar, so your A string. And we are going to start on the 7th fret of the A string, which is actually an E, if you did not know that. So we're just going to be in 2 different positions when we're playing this riff. So you're going to start with your index finger of your left hand, or if you're, left-handed, it'll be right hand. But whatever hand you use to push down on the strings. So for me, it's my left hand. My first finger, my index finger of my left hand, is going to go on the 7th fret of the 5th string, the A string. That's an E. That is our first note. So we're gonna play 2 E's, and then the next note we need is a G. So to get that G, we're gonna play it with our pinky, and it's gonna be on the 10th fret. So you don't have to move your hand, because if your index finger is on the 7th fret, 5th string, you can just put your pinky down on the 10th fret right there. So I would definitely use your pinky, even if you're not used to using your pinky, or if it's a little weak. It'll help strengthen it, and it's going to make this a little easier to play in the long run versus trying to stretch out a finger or something like that. So we have our E, 7th fret. Again, everything's on the 5th string, which is great. And then we need a G with our pinky on the 10th fret. So far we got our E to a G. Then we're going to go back to an E. Pretty simple so far, right? Which is very exciting. So let's try. We got E, E, G, back to E. That's it. Already starting to sound like the song, right? So if you have the sheet music in front of you, you're going to see the different rhythms that are mapped out for each note. I'm not going to go too in-depth with the specific of each rhythm today, just because if you're a beginner to music and you don't know too much about all the different types of notes and everything, I don't want to make this too confusing for you. That's something we can talk about in another video. But if you listen to the song and you know how it goes, I'm sure you can kind of hear the rhythm as we're playing. So again, let's review. We're going to go E, E, G, and back to E. So starting on the 7th fret, of course, on the 5th string. So that's the notes that we need if we're in 7th position. So I'm calling this 7th position because this is where my first finger is. It's lined up on the 7th fret. So now for our next note, which is going to be D, we have to do a shift, but it won't be too tricky. So you're just going from E on the 7th fret. We need to go to D on the 5th fret. And we're going to use our pinky for that because it's going to help with the notes at the very end of the riff too. So what we can do is just practice. We have our E on the 7th fret, 5th string, and we need to go to the 5th fret. So you're only going down 2 frets, but we want to totally shift our hand to prepare us for the end of this riff. So practice going E to D with your pinky, which is again the 5th fret, 5th string. So we're going 7th fret to 5th fret, all on the 5th string. So if you go E to D. If I play the beginning of this riff, including D, it's gonna look like and sound like. So you can kind of see how you need to shift, and at the end, again, I'm going to use these other fingers. So that's why I'm using my pinky here. I think you should definitely practice that way because it's going to be a little easier for you in the long run. Even if it's not easy right away, it will get better with practice, trust me. So, all right, so we got E, E, G, E to D on the 5th fret, all right? So let's just try that much slowly. So starting on the 7th fret, we have E, E again, G, back to E, and then D on the 5th fret. So you got 7th fret, 7th fret, 10, 7, 5. And then we only need 2 more notes, which is awesome. So if you're on D on the 5th fret, you're gonna play a C, which is the 3rd fret. So I'm gonna use my 2nd finger, my middle finger, for the C. And then I need a B, so I'm gonna use my 1st finger, because they're right next to each other. The ending of this riff, if we start on D, on the 5th fret, D, that's why I'm using pinky, because if I use my 3rd finger, my ring finger, I'm gonna then have to like scoop my 1st finger down, and I think it's just a little easier if you're already in position and you can just, you don't have to and then do another slide. So the ending, you have D, C, B, and that's it. So that's the 2nd half of the riff. So all together you have like that. Alright, so if we kind of go over the first half again, slowly. That's another thing when you're working on something like this, even if it's pretty simple, you want to take it slow, make sure everything's smooth, you have the correct notes, and then you can always work on speeding it up to tempo. So we're going to start, again, all of this is on the 5th string. So I'm just going to say the frets at this point. So we have the 7th fret with your index finger, that's your E. You're going to go to the 10th fret with your pinky, that is your G. So the first half of the riff, why don't we'll do E, G, E, and we'll do the switch, but we'll stop there, all right? So you got E, G, all right, just that much. 3, 4. Just like that, all right? So if you practice that much, you're adding in the shift, which is good. You're getting used to that shift. If you practice the first half, but you stop before the shift, it might be hard to add it in. So that's why I'm going to D and then stopping. That way you're used to going to it. So you can practice just that bit, and then you could practice the second half. D, C, B. So 5, 3, 2. Right. Like that. So if we put it all together slowly, you have 3, 4. Alright, and then you can keep repeating it because it repeats a lot in the song. So how about we try it that same tempo, very slow. If you need to pause this video and go even slower, I would definitely recommend it. So we'll do the whole riff twice. So after you play B, you're gonna go. So you can just slide back to E. You can either like add in the slide as, you know, make it a little fancy, a little effect, like, you know, you could do that, or you could lift your finger. You could do it different ways, you know, sometimes add in a slide, or just like that, all right? So let's try the whole thing slowly, twice through. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Back again. That's it. Good. And you can, repeat that as many times as you want. You can try and speed it up a little bit. Another thing you could think about when you are switching, this is a nice little tip for shifting. You don't want to, if I'm going from the E to the D, okay, I'm not going to watch my finger. I'm going to look at where I need to go. So if you focus on where you need to go, your finger will land there. I mean, I'm not saying you're never going to miss it or be short, but if you don't look ahead to where you're going, there's more of a chance of you missing it and making a mistake. So if I am on E and I need to go to D, I'm going to watch the 5th fret. And then same thing when I go from B on the 2nd fret back to the E on the 7th fret when I repeat it. If I'm here, I'm going to look at the 7th fret, not watch my finger slide, because I know it can, I can make it slide. I don't have to watch it, but I want to watch where I want to go. And you can also just practice that shift if that's tricky for you. You could just practice going B to E. And when you do that, if you're going to go back to B, look at B. So you can also kind of practice where your eyes are going to go. So you want your eyes to be ahead of your hands. That way there's more of a chance of accuracy. So why don't we try the whole riff one more time. We'll do a repeat of it. Maybe we'll go a little bit faster. Yeah, so let's try it. Remember, we're going to start on the 7th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can go again, because it's fun. One more time. Nice. And that is it. That is just an easy way to play the main riff of Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes using only one string. So not only did you learn the riff on one string, so it's pretty easy, you also learned 5 different notes. You learned E is the 7th fret, G is the 10th fret, D is the 5th fret, C, 3rd fret, and B, the 2nd fret. So if we kind of start back on the 2nd fret, even though this isn't in order of the riff, you can kind of see how the notes fall into a pattern together. So the 2nd fret, 5th string, that's your B. Right next to it is C. The 5th fret is D. The 7th fret is E. So far you have B, C, D, E. And then the 10th fret is G. So we're actually skipping F in this riff. But if you wanted to know, F would be right next to E on the 8th fret. That's your F. So let me just go over one more time just the notes you're using in the riff. That way you can kind of see they do go in alphabetical order up the string, which might help you if you're trying to learn the notes on the fretboard and on the string. So we start 2nd fret B, C on the 3rd fret, D on the 5th fret, E on the 7th fret, and then G on the 10th fret. So those are our notes that create this riff, and now you can kind of see them in order as well. And of course, the 5th string open is your A. So if you have your A, and then to the 2nd fret, it's B. And then you can go from there. Awesome! So I hope you have enjoyed this easier riff. It's fun to play. Like I said, it's great for beginners, or even if you're not a beginner. It's just a fun little riff to learn. You could even teach it. If you have a friend who's a beginner, you could help teach it to someone. But this is a lot of fun to play, and I hoped this helped you learn something new. I hoped you learned some new notes. Please subscribe to our channel. Look out for more one-string song videos like this one. And we have other videos that are focused more on classical guitar. If you're interested in that, we have ukulele videos. If there's something you want to see, a tutorial, please let us know. And I hope you had a great time. I had a lot of fun teaching you, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!